Quinn first moved into our neighborhood, he seemed like a good kid, young, ambitious, friendly. My husband and I are retired, so we spent a lot of time on our front porch, watching the world go by. Quinn lived alone, but he wasn't lonely. He had a girlfriend, Ellie. At first, Ellie seemed sweet. She was always around, always affectionate. But after a while, we started noticing odd things. For one, Quinn didn't seem as happy as he once was. He stopped talking to neighbors, stopped smiling. If we saw him outside, he always looked distracted, like something was weighing on him. And then there was Ellie. She was always at his house. Even when Quinn wasn't home, we'd see her come and go at strange hours, slipping in with her own key. Once, I swore I saw her watching us from inside Quinn's house while he was at work. But when I looked again, she was gone. It wasn't our business, so we ignored it. But then, something happened that we couldn't ignore. One evening, Quinn knocked on our door. His face was pale, his hands shaking. My husband invited him in, and we listened as he spoke in a hushed, panicked voice. "She's watching me," he said. "I don't know how, but she knows things. Things I never told her." We tried to calm him down, but then he pulled out his phone, showed us the pictures. Tiny cameras, hidden in his bedroom, his living room, even his bathroom. Ellie had planted them everywhere. "She's been spying on me for months," he whispered. "She always knows when I'm about to do something, where I am, who I'm with." He confronted her about it earlier that day. Told her it was over. And Ellie, she didn't cry. She didn't beg. She just smiled. A slow, knowing smile that sent a chill down his spine. "You'll regret this," she had whispered. That was hours ago. Quinn had locked his doors, blocked her number. But something told me, this wasn't over. That night, I barely slept. I had a bad feeling, and around 2 a.m. I heard a noise, a scream. My husband and I ran outside, and what we saw still haunts me. Quinn was on his front lawn, collapsed on his hands and knees. His shirt was soaked in blood. And standing in the doorway, holding a knife, was Ellie. Her eyes were wild, her chest rising and falling with each ragged breath. She just stood there, staring. Neighbors ran out. Someone called 911. My husband rushed to help Quinn, pressing a towel to his wound. He was gasping, barely able to speak. Ellie, she just stood there, watching it all unfold. When the sirens filled the air, she didn't run, didn't fight. She just turned her head and smiled, that same eerie smile. The police took her away. Quinn survived, but he was never the same. He stayed in the hospital for a while, and as soon as he recovered, he packed up and left town. Didn't say goodbye. Didn't tell anyone where he was going. And honestly, I don't blame him, because sometimes, when I sit on my porch late at night, I still think about Ellie, about the way she looked at Quinn, the way she smiled, and I wonder, is she still watching him wherever he is now? Does he ever feel safe, or does he still wake up at night, heart pounding, knowing deep down she's not done with him yet?